Tuesday on the Marilyn Denis Show, we get your arms summer ready when Jennifer Aniston's yoga instructor reveals the workouts you can do at home to get those perfectly sculpted arms. That's Tuesday on an all-new Marilyn.
Well, my next guest is from Alberta. Yes, that's right. Who's made a name for herself on both sides of the border. She's the star of CTV's new medical drama. It's excellent, Saving Hope. Please welcome Erica Durance. Beautiful. Gorgeous. You're so pretty. Honey, nice. How about that? That big show tonight, Saving Hope, premieres tonight. Nervous?
I am.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm a bit anxious. I'm waking up in the middle of the night with these anxious thoughts of, here it is, it's out there.
Yeah.
I thought I've been kind of playing in make-believe land, but now it's out there.
Now it's out there. So
yeah.
you're going to watch it tonight when it comes on CTV tonight?
We're going to have a little party, yeah.
Oh, this is exciting.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to gather around in a condo, a house? What are you doing?
There's a group of us and the writers, and we're all going to get together and watch.
That's good. It's a lot of work. You've been you started in March, I know, and did a lot of episodes. So tell us about the premise of Saving Hope.
Well, the premise of Saving Hope is basically it's a medical drama with a twist. It's a love story, and my character, Alex Reed, and Michael Shanks' character, we're going to go get married. He ends up getting into a coma.
Right.
And
on the day of your
on the day
of getting married.
You know.
Yeah.
Talk about ruining a girl's day. And then we're thrust into this whole experience of her trying to bring him back.
Sure.
And so her set of values is totally thrown. She was a scientist, she's a doctor, she believes in what you can see and feel and touch, and all of a sudden she's going, I'll do anything. I'll do anything to bring him back.
Right, right.
Yeah.
Interesting point on this one, because you and I've talked before. This is based on an article that was a three-part article in the Globe and Mail at one point. You want to tell everybody about that?
Yeah, originally started out as these stories that were originally about the Canadian healthcare system, and it piqued the interest of one of our creators, Morwen Brebner. But the actual idea of it is a story about her own life. She is a fairly pragmatic woman and doesn't really believe that there's anything else out there, and her little baby girl got sick, and they went to the hospital, and she said the first thing I did was pray to whatever was out there.
Mm-hmm. So it's more than just what you see.
Yeah,
it's
this
spirituality.
Yeah, between science and faith.
Okay, let's see a scene from Saving Hope. Here we go. Can't wait to see it. Here we go.
Let's go faster, move!
I think I'm bleeding into my head. I was lucid for a while, so it's probably an epidural bleed.
He was lucid right before it happened. It was probably an epidural bleed. Start an IV. You need a respiratory therapist.
Let's go, let's go. The 14 gauge left AC.
Checking screen for 2 units. You get some baseline electrolyte. Give me a down.
Let's get him into CT. The radiology's backed up.
He's the chief of surgery. He's not going to
You
wait.
tell her, Alex.
Where is my gown?
He's not withdrawing from pain.
He's been unconscious for 37 minutes.
Wait a second.
That's just a little bit about what you're going to see tonight.
Just
you
a
know,
little clip.
it's
Just a
so
teaser.
interesting. It's a teaser. So, were you nervous about playing a lead in a major television series?
I was tentative about it. You know, at the time, I just didn't think about it. I saw this part, and it was such a great part for a woman, and then I started doing it, and it became this big thing. I think now I'm starting to go, oh my gosh, because I'm seeing the ads everywhere, and I saw my face somewhere.
Yeah.
It was this huge
You're there,
billboard,
front and center. You got a huge billboard, so that's
I
a big
did?
deal. Yeah, you got it. So yeah, I know it's big. Hi, everybody. Yeah, that's right. So you know, you're playing this doctor, and you had to research this role. So how much research did you do?
You know, I was thrown into it pretty quickly, even though we shot it a long time ago. But
Yeah.
I did some reading. But the most interesting thing for me was a very gracious doctor in the Toronto area allowed me to shadow him as he was doing some surgeries. And
How'd that go for you?
that was
Tough, huh?
You know what? It was an interesting experience, because you think you go feel a little nauseous about the whole thing, but it just became this. Watching like a science project. It was surreal, so I just distanced myself from it, but it was fascinating what they can do.
What they can do, I tell you, they really go to work every day, don't they?
Absolutely.
They really do. Now, we're talking about that medical aspect and everything, but the guy in the coma is giving us kind of a dialogue of what he's seeing and feeling. I want to give away the show, but this is the different dimension.
Yeah.
It's the supernatural. And without giving too much away, I like it because it's another layer to most other shows.
Absolutely.
I don't want to give it away, so how would you describe it?
Well, you know, it just gives us that bird's eye view into what we might be thinking about. And all of us are so fascinated. I mean, anybody that I know is fascinated what happens after.
Yeah.
And they do it in such a way that it's so realistic. So you're not in this like hokey world of, okay, now we're in the spiritual realm. No, it's just stark, and it just feels like you're in the same place. And so there's all these different conversations that happen in a different perspective.
Sure, because they always say, like, when people go into comas and things, that they can hear things, that they can hear conversations. So it takes it to that kind of level.
Yeah.
Now, I got to talk to you about other things that you've done. I mean, how about this? FHM, Sexiest Woman magazine. Like, what was it? There was you've been FHM magazine's top 100 sexiest women several times. Okay, you made the cover of Maxim in 2007.
I did.
And you look great. How do you stay in shape?
Well, they don't call it the Battle of the Bulge for nothing. It's a constant effort. And for me, it's just changing it up. You know what I mean? I went through the yoga phase. I haven't hit the Pilates phase, but I hear it's exciting. I do a lot of the running. At the end of the day, I go back to the running because if it really hurts, it's usually working.
Okay, so when you finish a long day and you do decide to run, how far do you run?
Oh, you know what, at the end of, because most of my days are 14, 16 hours,
it's amazing.
right?
It's
so,
hard work,
you know, you're looking at, I'm lucky if I don't fall off the treadmill after half an hour or 40 minutes, right? You just go there and just run. But it's also therapeutic for me, right?
Sure.
You know, kind of.
Get to think through the day and everything.
Yeah.
And you don't look like you go to the craft table that much.
I try to avoid it. But
It's
I
a
have
big buffet of food, you know? And you really want to go for the good stuff, but you go for the broccoli. I get that.
It's cruel.
Let's give a shout out to where you are from.
I am from Three Hills, Alberta.
Yay! And tell us about Three Hills, Alberta. Where is it? And tell us a little bit about it.
Three Hills, Alberta is between Calgary and Edmonton.
Yes.
It's just a long highway, too. It's this tiny little blip, and you wouldn't notice it unless you were looking really closely at the signs.
Sure.
And a little town of about 3,500 people.
Yeah, I'm going to think about that every time I go into Drumheller, because I've got people in Drumheller, so I'm going to think about you every time I see that.
Yeah.
That is excellent. And you're married. Tell us a little bit about your personal life.
My personal life is the thing that keeps me sane. I am married to the most wonderful man. He treats me like gold. He's incredibly patient.
What does he do?
He is actually, he's transitioned. He was acting for a very, very long time in the theater in London and all that, and then he came over here and dabbled in it a little bit, but found that his true passion is in renovating and building homes. So
oh my gosh, maybe we can feature him on the show.
Yeah, we can feature my house.
Yes.
He's building a house that's going to be ready in August. He's designed the whole thing himself, and him and his brother are doing it.
Is it in Vancouver or here?
It's in Vancouver.
Okay, we've got to get our cameras there. Hey, listen, Erica, so great to see you. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Lead role.
Thank you.
Big deal. Big deal. Saving Hope premieres tonight on CTV, 9 p.m. Eastern. It's a big hit. Okay, thank you to Erica. All the best.
Thank you, guys.
We need to take a break. We'll be right back. Well done. Well done. Very good.
Up next, Canadian actress Emmanuelle Shrieky shares her beauty tips that will get you summer ready.